Peter Obi did not hold back. Now, in a recent interview, he exposed how APC and the president are steering Nigeria down on a dangerous path. He then revealed what he would have done to save the nation if he was there. This is more than just politics. It's a wake-up call. Welcome to Inside Nigeria. Please subscribe now as we follow this truth. They go 27. Because we'll see the video first.
Criminality was over 50% of the subsidy. I have to first remove the criminality associated with the subsidy and replacing it with an alternative. We have to show what is being removed and where it's being applied. You don't know what the subsidy is today. You don't know what is being removed. So what we are saying is, subsidy gone. Electricity subsidy gone. Soon they will remove subsidy on air. If they have a chance, they will charge us for air. But we are not saying we will not do that. But tell us where it's going. Now we are being told there will be increase in VAT, increase in tax. There will be, if you see people speaking language like, Nigerian tax to revenue to GDP is low. Who are you taxing? You have 130 million people who are living in poverty, who have no job. Are you going to tax them? Where are they going to pay? They have not eaten, so how will they pay you tax? Tax is a source of productivity. It's a bank account. You have to put in something before you withdraw. So we want to charge them, but let us put something. What Nigeria want to see today, and what I want to see, is let Nigerian politicians start sacrificing. People are ready to sacrifice. But you can't ask people to fast when you're feasting. So you cannot be in the party going around with new jets and yachts and everything at the expense of the public. That is not leadership. In Nigeria, 95% of the politicians are the same. So the 5% remaining is very negligible. I've had somebody confront me and said, okay, Peter, you wasted energy and time and you saved money. And when you were leaving government, you left huge amount of money. So tell me, which price did you get from doing that? Every other person took money and they are enjoying themselves today. You said you don't want to take the pension given to you as governor. So what difference does it make? You would have had a house in Abuja, a house in Oka. Government is maintaining you. That's why I always say, this is a criminal entity hijacked by criminals. The only way it can work is to dismantle it. When we talk about corruption, the reason why it is bad for a society, corruption kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. Why will I work hard to create a business and suffer to grow the business when I can make more money from being a politician?
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria decided that he wanted to make the National Assembly members happy by providing them brand new vehicles that cost a whopping sum. That is the dream of so many Nigerians, but they just could never touch. There is not one member of the National Assembly that rejected this vehicle, not even members of Labour Party in the National Assembly. What does that tell you about the quality and caliber of human beings that are called Nigerians that are in the National Assembly?
I have been a state governor, and I know what you mentioned with National Assembly is not the buying of the vehicle, but the impact on the society is far worse. The National Secretary of National University Commission recently said that Nigerian universities are in urgent need of PhD holders. They ask myself, who wants to be a PhD holder? If you become a PhD holder, you are employed as a graduate assistant level 2 or so in university. Your salary is 150,000 naira. Let me be generous and give you 200,000. That means in 1 year, you earn 2.4 million. let's say it's 2.5 million. 2.5. If you decide as a PhD holder with 2.5 million naira annual salary to buy the car they've given to somebody whose only qualification is secondary school, it will take you 64 years. Why will anybody want to be a PhD holder? Corruption kills professionalism. Why am I going to work hard to MPhD, research to be a professor? Because what I told you now, for a professor, is double the salary, 400,000 if he's paid. Why will I struggle to be a professor? In fact, if you're a professor, your salary, like I said, is 400,000 monthly, 4.8, so call it 5 million annually. For 4 years, without spending your money, you earn 20 million as a professor. 1 month's salary of National Assembly member is 21 million. Why do you want to be a professor? So corruption kills enterprise, kills professionalism. It kills hard work.
Would you advise the president to do what he has done to the Supreme Court by increasing by 300% all university professors?
I'm going to, for me as president, we're going to dismantle this criminality. Everybody have to come at the same level, and we discuss the future of the country. I was governor of a state. I was impeached within 6 months. You know that, of being a governor. And what was the problem? My own office as governor, there was a budget to renovate my office because it was burnt. The budget to renovate it was 298 million. I spent 42,300,000. That was my number one offense. Number two offense was that in my lodge, where I lived as governor, the entire budget, it was also burned because they had a crisis before I came in. The budget to renovate the office was 486 million. I spent 81 million in doing everything. That was my second offense. The third offense was that I was saving money. Everybody knew. You can go to Suka and verify. When I became governor, no permanent secretary in Anambra State had a car. No judge had a car. And I said no. I went to Pijo. It's still on record that I bought the highest number of Pijo ever bought by government. When I was governor, I went there and said, supply us 50 vehicles, 406. And in my first year, for 4 years, the vehicle I used as governor, it was 406. Permanent secretary, everybody was using the same car. 406 for the 4 years. In my first tenure, you can go, these are things that you can go and verify. And we shut down the office of First Lady. Because they had more money than some of my ministries. I said, hey, wait a minute. What is this? Nobody voted this woman. It's my wife. We love her. We live in the same house. But he didn't campaign. Nobody voted for her. He should have had her own convoy, even with ambulance and everything, creating additional confusion that was not supposed to exist. We shut it down.
And we're struggling with high fuel costs, high food costs, high inflation, and people are saying we're hungry. Where do we put the blame?
Squarely on the man who is in charge.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Period. Nobody else. Who is the man they declared the winner?
Why did you say they declared the winner?
He was declared the winner. He is the one who is responsible. No other person. That's why I told you I was impeached. Because I was the man they elected. That's why I can abolish First Lady office, abolish everywhere, and determine that I'm going to change this place. There's too much waste. Why would we have Asoro Clinic being built for 22 billion naira when your national clinic your number one hospital have less than 2 billion. It takes from Asorok to National Clinic can be more than 5 kilometers. So why the clinic? When Trump had problem, they didn't take him to White House Clinic. They took him to the military hospital where every other person, when Boris Johnson had COVID, they took him to hospital. Me and you can go. It's hospital. Why are we always doing what is wrong?
Okay.
He's just hospital. And he has ambulance all over the place. Even when he's moving, couldn't go on us. They move with ambulance. With other people. So if anything happened, the ambulance will take him to the National Hospital. I was a governor with 36 30 members of my assembly from different parties. The entire assembly. Not one from my party. I was a governor without one senator from my party in my state, without one National Assembly member. Everybody was, different party, except me alone. And yet, the state became most peaceful, most secured in that 8 years. In fact, a president of Nigeria told one of the PDP governors, go and learn how Peter is with his House of Assembly member. And when that person asked my speaker, how is it that you are in a different party and Peter is in a different party and all of you are working peacefully with him? He said he brings everything on the table. Transparency.
Did he include SUVs?
We didn't have money.
Didn't buy SUV for anybody.
I said I was using 406. How can they be using something better than me? They couldn't have. We actually quarreling. When they said to me, my counterpart in other states, I said, we have no counterpart in other states. Because they could see me, I shut down Anambra State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. Everybody knew. Because Governor of Anambra doesn't live in Abuja, and we couldn't afford to be keeping it. They know that. I shut down the presidential lodge in Oka from building. I said, no, the president doesn't live in Oka.
So you recommend the same thing for all the governors in 36 states who have, a lot of them are actually living in Abuja and not in their state today.
Why would they? I even recommend that when you finish governing, you should live in that state. Not just, even after. I live in Onitsha. The only place that I have house today in Nigeria that is built by me, that is my own, is Onitsha. If you see any other one anywhere, confiscate it and take it. I live in Onitsha, in my house. Look at our debts, rising irresponsibly. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. Borrowing for any government globally is accepted. People make reference with every other country today. I've compared so many countries with the issue of borrowing. Even countries people cite, like Singapore. Singapore today owes over 100% of their GDP. But they have a clear law that all borrowed money must be for investment. Japan owes over 200% of their GDP in debt. But the money Japan borrowed, most of their debts, apart from being domestic, were used for the economy and the people of Japan. And today, the highest holder of US treasuries, up until maybe 2 years ago, I don't know what happened. China, every other person, wherever, have huge debts. But you could see where those debts were invested in. Today, we are the number 3 highest debtor to World Bank. That happened within the past 1 year. We actually estimated that the way we are going will soon be number 1 highest debtor, without anything to show for it. In 2015, let me not go back for that. 2015, when this APC government started, our debts was a third of what it is today. We are now over $100 and something billion. We're now in a situation where We can't explain what happened. And we have tripled our debts. That means the money we borrowed were all either swallowed by snakes, pythons, tortoise, monkey, all sorts of things. That's why we are now in this new song of where people put the money, the elephant even follow that ate the money because the man goes to party.
So, if you watch this video, you're going to say Peter Obi has spoken. And the message is clear. As Nigerians, they feel the weight of this failed leadership. The call for change don't grow louder. And as 2027 no be another election year, no be just normal election, it's a fight for the soul of the nation. And if you believe in truth, in justice, and in better Nigeria, this is the time to stay informed and stay connected. This is Inside Nigeria. Don't just watch the history, be part of it. Subscribe, share, and let your voice echo in the future. I'll see you again.